Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Draw with Rob. With me, Rob Biddulph. That's me on the back of the Draw with Rob Fantastic Food activity book. Basically loads of food with eyes and legs and looking quite cute. Check it out if that's your bag. I am a children's author and illustrator. Maybe you have seen some of my picture books. This is probably my best known one. It's called Odd Dog Out. It's all about a sausage dog who doesn't fit in with the other sausage dogs, so she disappears off to find somewhere where she does fit in, and in the process she learns that, you know what, it's not about fitting in, it's about blazing your own trail. It's about being yourself. So I'm proud of that one. I'm also proud of this one. This is a wintry one, slightly Christmassy. It's called I Follow the Fox, and it's the story of this little boy here who loses, look, hang on, he's got two toy foxes, got Big Fox and Little Fox, and he loses Little Fox one snowy day. And look, Big Fox has got nobody to lie next to on the bed. So one day he looks out of his window, he looks out of his window, and there's a real fox outside, sort of beckoning him to follow. So he follows the fox through the town, through the streets, over the fields, and she leads him somewhere. I'm not going to tell you where. Let's just say that he helps her out, and in return she helps him out. Very proud of that. Maybe you have seen my chapter book series, the Peanut Jones series. If you haven't seen it, let's just say you might be seeing a lot more of Peanut Jones in the future. I can't say too much, but you might want to read these books. Again, I'm very proud of these. If you've never read a chapter book before, these might be the books for you, because do you know what? I'll just pick up the middle one to show you that they are full of illustrations. There's 200 illustrations in each book, which means I just think it's a little less daunting than other chapter books. There's short chapters, there's like cliffhangers at the end of each chapter, and as I said, loads and loads of drawings. Look how much detail I put into that drawing. Took me ages, and I'm really proud of this story, so do check them out. But we are here today, as per usual, to do a little drawing together. And this is a special episode of Draw with Rob, because it's a Draw with Rob Icons episode. So the Draw with Rob Icons episodes are the ones where I show you how to draw other people's characters, famous children's characters from film, from books, from all that sort of stuff. So in the past we've done Mickey Mouse, we've done R2-D2, we've done Garfield, we've done the Grinch, we've done Pikachu, we've done Bluey, we've even done Hello Kitty. And today we are going to be drawing a Minion. So a Minion from the Despicable Me films and from the Minions films, surprise, surprise. And I think I'm going to show you how to draw Dave, the Minion. He is one of my personal favourites. So yes, we are going to be drawing Dave. Now, the Minions are so funny. I love them so much. I watched those films with my daughters and we laughed and we laughed and we laughed. And they're so iconic. I just thought it's going to be a lot of fun to draw. I'll explain how Draw with Rob works, just in case you've never watched one of these videos before. Basically, lots of children say to me, at my events I say, right, who doesn't think they're very good at drawing? And quite often lots of hands go up. And I say, well, why do you think that? Because, you know, whatever your drawing looks like, there's no right or wrong answer with drawing. It doesn't have to look like a photograph for it to be good, right? It's not like maths, there's no right or wrong answer. So I think everybody can draw. That's just what I think. You know, it's all about what you think of a drawing, isn't it? If you go to an art gallery, they don't all just look like photographs, these paintings. Some of them are very, very simple and sketchy, and they're just equally as good. So I say everybody can draw. Some people just need a bit of help with the order that we do the drawing in. And that's where I come in, because we are going to break this drawing of a Minion. I'm going to break it down into little tiny bite-sized pieces. So just little shapes, lines, that kind of thing. And I'm going to guide you through the drawing. And, you know, you can watch what I do. I'll draw a shape, pause the video, copy what I do. I'll draw a bit more, then you will draw. I draw, you draw, I draw, you draw, I draw, you draw. Before you know it, we're going to have finished our drawing of a Minion, and I promise you're going to be super, super proud of it. And in the process of drawing it, you're going to remember how we did it. So you'll just be able to draw a Minion whenever you like. So I can't wait to show you how to do this. What you're going to need is a piece of paper, You'll need a pen or a pencil, something to draw with. I've been doing a lot of drawing, so I'm a bit inky, I'm afraid. I'm going to try not to smudge my drawing. You might need something to colour with a bit later. Maybe something blue and something yellow to colour with a bit later. You know what minions look like. But equally, you can do any colours you like. Right, shall we get a move on? Shall we start? Okay, so the very first thing that I would like you guys to do, about let's say about 2/3 of the way up your page, slightly left of centre, I want you to draw a circle about this size. So what's that? About 3 or 4 centimetres in diameter. Okay, so a nice easy start to our minion. The next thing I want you to do, guess what? We're going to draw another circle exactly the same to the right of that. And circles are actually very, very hard to draw. You know what? Very few people can draw a perfect circle freehand. Occasionally I can do it, but not every time, as you see. Look, all sorts of wonky going on there. But I actually like it when they're not perfect, when they're a little bit wonky, because I think when that happens, it sort of adds a bit of a quirk, a bit of character to your drawing. We don't want our drawings to be too perfect. We're not robots, right? We want people to know that a human has created these drawings. So my advice to you is, if you think you make a mistake, just keep on drawing, keep going. Because often those mistakes they're what's going to add character to your drawing. So don't worry about it. Also, don't worry if yours doesn't look exactly like mine. It's not meant to. You're going to put your own personality into your drawings. That's the point. Right. Next, what I want you to do, we're going to draw a kind of almost like a figure of 8 on its side shape around those 2 circles. So we'll start in the middle there with a little dot, and then we're going to follow the shape of our circles around here, right there, trying to keep the gap between the circles even. We'll get down to this point, and then you see what I mean. So it's like an 8 shape on its side. Follow it around there, like so, and we'll meet up in the middle again. I'm sure you can tell which part of the minion we are starting with. That's right, it's the glasses. Okay, now I'm just going to smooth my line off. See, I use brush pens. Lots of people ask me what kinds of pens I use. They're made by a company, the ones I use, they're Japanese. They're made by a company called Kuretake, with a K. Look them up, and you can find them online. You don't have to go to Japan to get them. You can find them online, but they're the ones that I really like to use. You know, you just get used to a certain type of pen, right? I'm used to these Kuretakes, and I like them because you get an uneven line. It just adds a bit of character to your drawing. Right, the next thing I want you to do is add a little rectangle on each end of our sort of figure of 8 on its side shape, like so. And in the middle, there's 2 little lines like that. Okay, then we're going to add 2 little rectangles coming out of each side, like so. Then coming out, just so we're not going to go right to the end of that shape, just inside the end of that shape, I want you to start. We're going to go from there to there, okay, and we're going to go in a nice smooth curve. So we're going to go up. I'm left-handed, so I'm finding it easier slightly to pull rather than push, so that's why I'm starting from the right and going around to the left. But maybe you're right-handed, you can do it the other way. It's just slightly, I find it slightly easier to pull in a curve than to push. There we go. So again, with my brush pen, I can then go back over the line, and any little kind of bits that need correcting, I can do that nice and easily with my pen. You see? Okay, next we are going to continue these lines. Imagine they go through that rectangle and straight down our page. So we carry on down with dead straight line, right down to about, how far down shall I go? Yeah, I'm going to go to about there. So what's that, about 6 centimetres, and we do the same on the other side. So imagine that line carries on going through, go down to about 6 centimetres, like that. Okay, and then at the bottom of each of these lines we're going to draw like a diagonal line, just a few centimetres long, like that. And exactly the same on the other side. This is a pretty symmetrical drawing of this minion, so pretty much everything we do on one side we're going to repeat on the other side. Okay, Now I want you to turn those diagonal lines into little kind of diagonal rectangles. Like that. I've got a very slight curve going on in mine. Just very, very slight hint of a curve. But it doesn't matter if you haven't. There we go. Then just do a little tiny line, just like that. Just tucking in behind. Okay, then at the end of each of these rectangles we're going to draw a circle. Like so. And in the middle of each circle we're going to draw a little plus sign, because they're going to be little buttons. Okay, the next thing I want you to do, coming out of the sort of the edge of that, we're going to draw a straight line, pretty straight, maybe very slightly curved downwards, and then up again on the other side, like that, straight across. Then we're going to go vertically down, not far at all, a few centimetres on each side. Then we're going to go out to the side again, not far, a centimetre maybe, just so you're level with this line really, like that. And now we're going to do another one of these curvy lines. In fact, this time what we'll do first, we will draw a horizontal line, like that, in the middle bottom part of our page, like that. It's just a little bit easier, then you can just do the curves going up to meet, like so. Sometimes it's just a shape that might look difficult to start with. If you just sort of break it down into the lines and curves, it's a little bit easier to kind of manage. Okie dokie. Now, coming up from this corner, we're going to draw a vertical line, but we're going to stop just before we get to that little strap. We'll do the same on this side. We'll keep it nice and symmetrical. Okay, I'm going to go to this side this time, and what we're going to do now is we're going to draw a diagonal line coming down from here, bending around and disappearing into there. Again, a mirror image on this side. So we go diagonally down, we curl around, and we disappear into there. Then from the end of this line we go diagonally down and we curve around and we disappear into there. Like that. And that, you can see that it's our Minion's arms, and they're sort of disappearing behind his back. So Dave is standing with his hands behind his back. And hopefully you can also see that these little strap things and that shape we did there are his dungarees, because they always wear dungarees, don't they, these guys? Speaking of dungarees, shall we draw... No, do you know what? I'm not going to draw anything else on the dungarees, because I'm going to add those after we've coloured in. Because sometimes if I drew lots of lines there and then I had to colour them all in blue, because they're blue dungarees, I might smudge the ink. So what I'm going to do in this case, I am going to colour them in first, and then I'm going to draw the pockets and all that sort of thing on top. So sometimes you just have to think about the order that you do the drawing in. Okay, next. Let's finish off the body before we go back and do the eyes and the mouth and everything. So what I want you to do first of all is we're just going to draw right in the centre. We're going to draw a little vertical line coming down, not too far, they've only got tiny little legs. Then we're going to go out to the left, not very far. We're going to go out to the left, then we're going to go up, then down, and then carry on going out just a little bit. Then we're going to go up, we're going to nick in, and then we're going to draw a nice curve, like so. It goes all the way back to that line. Then we're going to add a diagonal line going up. And you can see we've done one shoe and one leg. Let's do an exact mirror image on the other side. Up, diagonally down, along. Try and make them about the same size. Up, in, curve around, back in to meet that line, and then a little diagonal line. And there we go. They're so funny, these little characters. I really love them. Whoever came up with the design for the Minions is a genius, because they are so fun. Okay, let's add the eyes now. I'm going to use my thinner pen here. And the first thing I want you to draw is just below the centre of this circle, only slightly below. We're going to draw a horizontal line going straight across and then going straight across like that. Then we're going to draw 2 curved lines that almost follow the shape of the glasses, but not quite. Up and over, like so. And our minion is going to be looking off to the left, I think, in this drawing. So we're going to draw circle lines right there in the corner. Then we're going to draw an actual circle like that. What am I doing? You were asking, I can tell. You'll see in a sec. And we draw another circle behind that one on each side. And then we're just going to colour in this left-hand one. And look, suddenly it all makes sense. There we go. Our minion is looking off to the left. And that circle I did there is going to be the little point of light, the little highlight. Let's correct that bit. Okay, shall we give our minion a nice little smiley mouth? It's the minions' mouths that are my favourite bit, actually. The mouths, the drawing, the design of the mouths has so much personality to our characters. So this minion, we're going to do the mouth sort of smiley, but off to one side. So what I want you to draw is sort of a wonky smile that comes down like that, going off to the right, like so. Then we're just going to go underneath, back along, and then curve around in a shape like that. So a nice kind of personality-full smile off to one side. Cool! And then, strangely enough, they have quite big teeth, minions, and they seem to have, like, we've got 2 in the centre of our mouths, haven't we? They seem to have 1. So we're going to do a little bump, go down again, and go along. Another little bump, and along, like so. And then we just do 2 little thin lines going up. And then underneath that, we're going to draw a line going down, with a little gap there, which we can colour in. And the same just here. So up, down. And there we go. Cute! So we're nearly done with the outline part of our minion drawing now. We just need to add Dave's hair. And Dave is one of those minions. They all have sort of different hair. They're all slightly different, the minions. They look the same at a glance, but when you look a bit closer, they're all slightly different. Like some of them only have one eye, for example. One great, they have this, I was going to say glasses, I suppose it's a glass. One eye in the centre. But Dave has 2 eyes, and he has kind of quite neatly combed hair. So we're going to do his hair coming up from the middle and going out to each side. So we can do 1 strand. Then we're going to draw another strand. I'm going to do them sort of crossing over a bit. We'll do another one underneath there, like that. And then we'll do 1 more, shall we? Again, we'll do a bit of a crossover one going on, like that. And then guess what? We're doing exactly the same on the other side. So we go out to the side. We'll do a crossy overy one, like that. Do another one just underneath. And then to even it up, we'll do 1 more on top. Like that. They're so funny. Right, I think actually, there's 1 more bit we need to do. The glasses, they always have these little sort of nodules coming off them, like so. I don't know why, but they do, and it's a kind of a really distinctive part of the minion. They're not, do they go all the way around? Yeah, I think maybe they do. Let's do another one there and there. Let's do the same on the other side. I'm not sure this is entirely accurate, but hey, it's my drawing. I can do what I like. I think something like that. There we go. Yeah, that looks about right to me. Okay, so I'm now going to go into super speed mode to colour my minion in. Now, the rules are with minions, they are yellow all their skin part is yellow, and their dungarees are blue, and then their shoes are black, and the straps of their glasses are black, and they've got, this one, Dave here, has got brown eyes. I don't know if they've all got brown eyes, but Dave has got brown eyes. So I'm going to colour my minions as per the regulation minion colouring, but there's no reason why you can't do your minions whatever colour you like. I mean, maybe you want to invent a whole new kind of strand of minion that is bright green or stripy blue and orange. Whatever you want, you do. Whatever you like. That's the rules of Draw with Rob. There ain't no rules, even when we're doing Draw with Rob icons. So I will see you back here in about 20 or 25 seconds with a fully coloured in minion, and then we've got a few more details to add afterwards. So are you ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so there is my coloured in minion. So as I said to you, I've stuck to traditional minion colouring, yellow and blue basically, with a little bit of brown for the eyes. You can see I've done quite a lot of shading with this one. Minions are a very pleasing shape, that kind of rounded, kind of cylindrical kind of shape, which I really like shading. So a couple of little tricks here. So if the light's coming from this side, which it is in this drawing, you obviously get darker on this side. But can you see I've left a little, there's a bit of a blue got in there, I don't know how that's happened. But I've left a little kind of halo of light, of lighter yellow on the edge there. And that, if you look at an object in real life, you'll see that that's what happens. It goes darker, but then you get a little bit of light. It's almost like it's creeping around from the other side, and it just makes your drawing look really properly three-dimensional. So I've done that there. There's a bit of shading underneath the glasses here and there, and where the arms go behind the back I've done a bit of darker shading, just to make everything, certain things come forward and certain things go backwards. And again, I've done a bit of shading around the bottom of the dungarees and on the legs and that kind of thing. And in the glasses, because they're metallic, you sort of do a little bit of variation of shading. And again, I've left like a little kind of white halo just around the edges of the glasses, just to make them look like they're made of metal. So lots of little tips and tricks in there for you to have a go at. Now we've got to add some detail to these dungarees. Do you remember I said I was going to leave some bits until the end? Oh, I've just noticed one little thing. Let's just colour in the buttons on the dungarees. I'm going to use this sort of slightly greeny grey sort of colour, just to colour in these guys before I forget. Right, now, so what we're going to do, we're going to take our pen and we're going to add the sort of the seams and things of these dungarees. So what I want you to do, just down here, we're going to add one line, two lines, kind of next to each other, and then we're going to just disappear up like that into there, and let's do another line just going around there. And you can see they sort of all overlap, which is what really happens really on this kind of denim material. We're going to just draw a couple of little lines on each edge like so. We're going to do one. I'm going to turn mine on the side because I really don't want to smudge anything because I'm pleased with my colouring. I'm going to just do another little line following along the top there. I'll do this. Couple of lines inside there. It's this little detailing that really does add the finishing touches. Let's do a similar thing on this side to what we did on the other side, just like so. We'll do a little seam coming up there, and we'll do another couple of lines around the bottom there. Now this is the main thing. We're going to draw a little pocket on the front. So the first thing we do is a horizontal line right in the middle, going across like that, and then we join it up at each side with like a U shape underneath, and then we're going to do our thin lines going all around, sort of following it around like so. And now we have to do the GRU logo. So this is how we do it. We're going to draw a circle, but we're going to leave a tiny gap at like 3 o'clock on the circle, just a tiny gap like so. Then we're going to come in horizontally from that gap. We're going to do another circle inside. But this one, when we get to here, We're going to go in, up and along, so it's like a G. Okay. Then we have to do, it's very clever this logo, we're going to come in from that side there and we're going to add, it's like a diamond shape in the middle. Diamond, diamond, and then finish off with a diamond. Then we just colour in along those edges. And that is the Gru logo, because remember all these minions work for Gru, don't they, in Despicable Me. There we go, that's pretty good. Then I'm just going to add a bit more detail. I'm going to add some dotted lines going around here, because we want it to look like stitching. Now really these should be yellow, but I can't do yellow over blue, so I'm just going to do them with my black pen. I'm just going to go all the way up there with a dotted line. Let's do another dotted line following that one along the top. And these, it's just a little graphic element that just makes these things look a bit more like denim. It's just like a little, you're sort of tricking people a bit really. And we'll just do one just following that pocket around. It's almost like it's just been stitched on. So dotted, dotted, dotted. I'm just going to go up the sides. I'm not going to do it across the top because in theory you can put something into that pocket. Let's just do some around here as well. I think I'm going to leave it there actually. So that's pretty much it. This is a cool one, right? Tell me you've enjoyed this one, because I've really enjoyed it. I'm so proud of it. I'm going to sign my name right now down here. Don't forget to sign your works of art. Everybody needs to know who has created this wonderful Minion drawing, because you need to put it up on the wall. This is one of my favourite ones that I've done, certainly one of my favourite icons ones. I'm really, really pleased with it. What else can I tell you about the colouring? Oh yes, do you see the teeth? I didn't just leave them white, I did a little bit, tiny bits of grey here and there. Again, it's just about bringing things forward and putting things back. So the bottom teeth I've done grey so that they sit just behind the top teeth. But I think I've pretty much told you everything else that you need to know here in terms of the colouring. I wonder what your minions look like. Did you stick with the traditional colours like I have, or have you gone for something wacky? Whatever, I would like to see your drawing. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to get your grown-up to take a lovely photo of your drawing, and then they can post it on social media using this hashtag, #DrawWithRob. That way I will get to see it. If you are watching the video on Facebook, you can just comment below with a picture of your drawing and I'll get to see that too. And I really can't wait to see your drawings, because I think this has been a super fun one. If you've enjoyed this video, why don't you look up some of the other Draw with Rob icons videos, or any of the other Draw with Rob videos. There's loads and loads to choose from. There's nearly 200 on my YouTube channel, all totally free to watch. So why don't you check those out? Why don't, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. Why not? That way you'll get told when a new video is coming out. Equally, if you subscribe to my newsletter by just going to this website here and putting in your email address or your parents' email address, then they will get an email every time a new video comes out, or every time I have a new book out, or every time I'm going on tour and I might be doing an event at somewhere near you, in which case you can come and see my live show. And then afterwards I always meet people who come to my shows afterwards. I'll sign your books, I'll have a look at your pictures, we can have a photograph together, that sort of thing. I love it. I love meeting my readers. So do that, sign up, and then you'll get told all the relevant information. Apart from that, I think we're pretty much done here today. Hope you had fun. I certainly have. I'm going to be back very soon with another episode of Draw with Rob. In the meantime, everybody, keep those pencils sharpened, keep on drawing, keep on reading, and take care of yourself. See you later. Everyone, it's Rob here, and I'm just popping up at the end of your video to tell you about this, the brand new Draw with Rob activity book. And this is a very, very tasty one because it's called Fantastic Food, and it's absolutely jam-packed full of deliciously cute characters. So what will you find inside? Well, we have lots of puzzle pages like these ones that you can see here. We have pages where I've started drawings off and you guys have to finish those drawings. We have colouring pages, lots of colouring for you to do. We even have some very cool bookmarks that you can colour in and cut out and then use when you're reading. And of course, we have loads of draw-alongs. Just look at these ones. Super cute, super delicious. And I think you're going to have a lot of fun doing these. Now listen, I'm super proud of this book. I really can't wait for you guys to get your teeth into it. And don't forget to send me any pictures you do based on the characters you find in this book. Right, you've had enough of me now. I'm going to let you get on with your day. You can pick this book up from wherever books are sold. And I really, really hope you enjoy it. See you soon. Bye-bye.